A vote by Abraham Cowley. This only grant me, that my means may lie too low for envy, for contempt too high. Some honour I would have, not from great deeds, but good alone. Take note, I'm better than I'll known, rumour can hope for grave. Acquaintance I would hug, what went depends, not from the number, but the choice of friends. Folk should, not business, entertain the light, and sleep as undisturbed as death the night. My house a cottage, more than palace, and should fitting be for all my use, no luxury. My garden painted o'er with nature's hand, not arts and pleasures yield, house mine envy in a seventh field. Thus would I double my life's fading space, for he that runs it well tries runs his race. And in this true delight, these onward sports and happy state, I would not fear, nor wish my fate, but boldly say each night, tomorrow let my sun his beams display, on clouds hide them. I have lived today. Against Fruition by Abraham Cowley. Now thou'rt a fool, its worth ever grant. Much of my veneration thou must want, and once thy kindness puts my ignorance out. For learned ages always least devote. Keep still thy distance, for once to me, goddess and woman, to thou canst not be. Thou'rt queen of all that sees thee, and as such must neither tyrannize nor yield too much. Such freedom's gifts as may admit command, but keep the thoughts and magazines in hand. What yet a whole world to me, and dost fill my large ambition, but it's dangerous still, lest like the Pelian prince should be, and before other worlds having conquered we. Love has taken all the hearts away, his strength by too much riches will decay. When my fancy does much higher stand, a woman can be placed by nature's hand. All must needs, I'm sure, loser be, to change thee as the world there, for there be. My sweetness is so much within me placed, that shouldst for nectar give, 'twould spoil the taste. Beauty at first moves a wonder and delight, 'tis nature's juggling trick to cheat the sight. We admire it whilst unknown, but after, more admire ourselves for liking it before. Love like a greedy hawk, if he give way, does overgorge himself with his own prey. For every hope's a surfeit he'll sustain, unless by fears he casts them up again. His spirit and sweetness dangers keep alone, if once he lose his sting he crows a drone. Against Hope by Abraham Cowley. Hope, whose weak being ruined is, alike if it succeed and if it miss, whom good or ill does equal confound, and both the haunts of fate's dilemma wound. Vain shadow, which dost vanish quiet, both with full noon and perfect night. The stars have not a possibility of blessing we. If things then from their end we happy call, 'tis hope is the most hopeless thing of all. Hope the bold taster of delight, who willst thou shouldst but taste, devourest it quiet. Thou bringest us an estate, yet leavest us poor, by clodging it with legacies before. The joys which we entire should wed, come deflowered virgins to our bed. Good fortunes without gain imported be, such mighty customs paid to we. For joy, like wine, kept close does better taste, if it take air before its spirit waste. Hope fortune's cheating a lottery, where for one prize 100 blanks there be. Fond Arca hope, who takes thy aims so far, but still or short or wide thine errors are. Thine empty cloud, which my eye deceives, which shapes that our own fancy gives. A cloud, which gilt and painted now appears, but must drop presently in tears. And at false beams our reason's light prevail, by England's failure for northern stars we sail. Brother of fear more gaily clad, the merrier fool of the other, yet quiet as mad. Sire of repentance, child of fond desire, that blows the chimics and the lover's fire, leading them still insensible on, by the strange witchcraft of Anon. By thee the one does changing nature through her endless labyrinths pursue, the other chases woman, whilst she goes more ways and turns than hunted nature knows. An answer to a copy of verses sent me to Jersey by Abraham Cowley. As to northern people, whom the sun uses just as the Romish Church has been, a profane laity, and as a sign bred only both to serve for bread and wine, a rich canary fleet welcome arrives. Such comfort to us here your letter gives, fraught with prescriptive verses, in which we the soil from whence they came taste, smell, and see. Such your present to us. You must know, sir, at first does not in this island grow, no more than sack, one lady did not fear, when the muses leave, to plant it here. It produced such base, rough-grabbed hedge rhymes, as even set the hearser's ears on edge. Written by a squire the year of our Lord 633. Brave Jersey muse, and he's for this high style called to this day the home of the isle. Alas, to men here no words less heartbeat to rhyme with than Mount Aureal is to me. Mount Augual, which, in scorn of the other muses' law, with no jocular word will deign to draw. Stubborn Mount Augiel, 'tis a work to make it come into rhyme, more hard than 'twere to take it. Alas, to bring your tropes and figures here, strange as to bring camels and elephants were. And metaphors so unknown a thing, 'twould need the preface of God save the King. Yet this I'll say, with the honour of a place, that the God's extraordinary grace, which shows the people have judgment, if not wit, the land is undefiled with clinches yet. Which, in my poor opinion, I confess, is the most singular blessing, and no less than islands wanting spiders. And so far from the actual sin of bombast, though they are, that ever crying is our English muse, that even Satan himself can accuse none here. No, not so much as the divines, of the modus primo primi to strong lines. Well, since the Solven does not naturally be a verse, who, a devil, should import it here? For that to me would seem as strange a thing as who at first wild beasts into islands bring, unless you think that it might taken be as green that gondelbird in the prize at sea. That's a fortune falls not every day, 'tis true green was made by it. For they say the Parliament did a noble bounty do, and gave him the whole prize, the 10ths and 15ths too. Bathing in the River by Abraham Cowley. Fish around her crowded as they do, to the false light the treacherous fisher shew, nor with as much ease my taking be, as she at first took me. For ne'er did light so clear among the waves appear, every night the sun himself sat there. Why to mute fish shouldst thou thyself discover, and not to me, vain or less silent lover? As some for men the brit gold commit to ghosts that have no use of it, half a rich treasure so maids bury, for aught we know, poor ignorance, their mermaids all below. The Moor's waves would fain about her stay, but still newer Moor's waves drive them away. A swift current towards joy's fair haste would do us swiftly waste. I love the wanton play to view, but 'tis alas Atlantis too, and still out lovers here to place too new. As you part your Moor's waves, happy rivals and my fellow slaves, point to your florid banks, and to eschew the good that bounties do. And tell her what your pride doth cost, and how your youth and beauty's lost, and dry gross winter binds you up with frost. Tell her beauties and her youth, like thee, henceforth stop to the wooing sea, where they will mixed and undistinguished lie of all meanest things that die. As in the ocean thou no privilege dost know, above the impurest streams that viver flow. Tell her, kind flood, and this his mate has said, tell her there's yet one remedy to be had. Show her how thou long since past, dost find thyself yet still behind. Marriage, say to her, will bring about the self-same thing, but she, fond maid, shuts and seals up the spring. Concealment by Abraham Cowley. No, to what purpose should I speak? No, wretched heart, swell till you break. She cannot love me if she would, and to say truth, 'twere pity that she should. No, to the grave I sores bear, silent as they will beware. Since that loved hand this mortal wound does give, so handsomely the thing contrive, that she may guiltless of it live. So perish, that her killing we may a chance melee and no murder be. 'Tis nobler much for me, that I by her beauty, not her anger, die. With the look justly, and become an execution, that a martyrdom. A sensing world will never refrain from judging man by thunder slain. She must be angry, sure if I should be so bold to ask her to make me, by being hers, happier than she. I will not, here's the smile of fate, to fall by her not loving, than I hate. And yet this death of mine, I fear will ominous to her appear, when sound in every other part, her sacrifice is found without an heart. For the last tempest of my death shall sigh out that too with my breath, and shall the world my noble ruin see, some pity and some envy me. When she herself, the mighty she, shall grace my funerals with his truth, 'twas only love destroyed the gentle youth. Counsel by Abraham Cowley. Gently, maiden touch the bone which you yourself have made. That pain must needs be very much, which makes me out of your hand afraid. Cordials of pity give me no, for I too weak for purgings grow. Do but a while with patience stay, for counsel yet will do no good. Their time and rest in heaven are lay the violent burnings of my blood. What effect from this can flow to chide men drunk for being so? Perhaps the physics good you give an heir to me can use for proof. Medicines make you but not the wife, and I'm not sick but dead in love. And love's hell, not his world am I. And once I live am dead and die. What new found frolic as wine, even by dissuasions me persuade, and thy great power does clearest shine, when thy commands are disobeyed. In vain thou biddest me to forbear obedience by rebellion here. Thy tongue comes in, as if it meant against thine eyes assist my heart. But different far was his intent, for straight the traitor took their part, and by this new foe I am bereft of all that little which was left. The act, I must confess, was wise, as a dishonest act could be. Well knew the alas, your eyes would be too strong for wit and me, and part or triumph chose to get rather be a part of it. Hail, old patrician trees, by Abraham Cowley. Hail, old patrician trees, so great and good, hail, ye plebeian underwood. The poetic birds rejoice, that over quiet nests and plenteous food pay with a grateful voice. Hail the pure muses, richest men are set, ye country houses and retreat, which all the happy gods so love, and for you oft were quite the pride and grand metropolis above. Here nature does a house for me erect, nature the wisest architect, who those fond artists does despise, that can the fair and living trees neglect, here for their timber prize. Here let me, careless and unthoughtful lying, hear the soft winds above me flying. If all the wanton boars dispute, the more tuneful birds to both replying, nor myself to mute. A silver stream shall round his waters near, gild with sunbeams here and where, on whose enamelled bank I'll walk, and see how pretty they smile, and hear how pretty they talk. A wretched and too solitary he, who loves not his own company, he'll feel the weight of many a day, unless he call in sin or vanity, to help to bear the way. Solitude, first state of humankind, which blessed remained till man did find even his own helper's company. As soon as two are thus together joined, the serpent made her free. Though God himself, through countless ages, his sole companion chose to be, we, sacred solitude alone, with a branchy head of numbers free, sprang from the trunk of one. Though men think thine an unactive part, does break and tame the unruly heart, which else would know no settled pace, making it move, we managed by thy art, with swiftness and with grace. Though the faint beams of reason's scattered light dost like a burning glass unite, dost multiply the feeble heat and fortify the strength to thou dost bright and noble fires beget. Whilst as hard truth I teach me things, I see the monster London laugh at me. I show it at thee too, foolish city, if it were fit to laugh at misery, but thy estate I pity. Let but thy wicked men from out thee go, and the fools that crowd thee so, even though, who dost to millions boast, a village less than Islington will grow, a solitude almost. Inconstancy, by Abraham Cowley. 5 years ago, says Doy, I loved you, which you call me most inconstant now. Pardon me, madam, you mistake the man, for I am not the same that I was when. The flesh is now the same 'twas when in me, and the mind is changed, yourself may see. The same force to retain still and intense, the more inconstant far, for accidents must all things most strangely inconstant prove, and from one subject they'd never move. My members when the father members were, from whence we take the birth, which now are here. And then this body love what we ever did, to incest, which by nature is forbid. You might as well the stay inconstant name, because the weather is not still the same that it was yesterday, or blame the year, cause the spring flowers and autumn fruit does bear. The world's a scene of changes, and to be constant in nature were inconstancy. For it were to break the laws of self as made, or substance when self's to fleet and fade. The most fixed being still as move and fly, swift as the wings of time is measured by. To imagine then that love should never cease, love, which is but the ornament of these, were quiet as senseless as to wonder why beauty and colour stay not when we die. Life, by Abraham Cowley. Life's a name that nothing here can truly claim. As wretched inn where we scarce stay to bait, we call our dwelling place. A mighty voyage we take, and mighty journeys seem to make, our sea and land will a point that has no space. Because we fight and battles gain, some captives call and say, the rest are slain. Because we heap up a yellow earth, and so rich, valiant, wise, and virtue seem to grow. Because we draw in long nobility from hieroglyphic proofs of heraldry, we grow at last by custom to believe, when really we live. Whilst all these shadows that for things we take are but the empty dreams, which in death's sleep we make. Ode Imitation of Horace's Ode 5, Book 1, by Abraham Cowley. To whom thou Purfer art thou kind, to what heart-ravished lover dost thou the golden locks unbind, by hidden sweets discover, of large bounty open set, of the bright stores of a rich cabinet? A simple youth, how oft will he of thy changed faith complain, and his own fortunes find to be so airy and so vain, of so chameleon-like in hue, but still the colour changes with it too. How oft, alas, will he admire the blackness of the skies, trembling to hear the winds sound higher, and see the billows rise. Poor unexperienced he, alas, before had been at sea. Enjoys thy calmy sunshine now, and her breath stirring hears, and the clear heaven of her brow no smallest cloud appears. He sees thee gentle, fair and gay, and trusts the faithless April of thy May. Unhappy, thrice unhappy he, to whom thou untried thou'st shine. But there's no danger now for me, since our Loretto's shrine, a witness of a shipwreck past, my consecrated vessel hangs at last. Ode of Wit by Abraham Cowley. Tell me, oh tell, what kind of thing is wit, thou who master art of it? Thou first matter loves variety less woman loved, even love for dress. 1,000 different shapes it bears, calmly in 1,000 shapes appears. Yonder we saw it plain, and here 'tis now, like spirits in a place we know not how. London, that whence affords where so much a store, and nowhere deceives us more. For man lit by the colour and the shape, like Zeuxis birds fly to the painted grape. Some things do through our judgment pass, as through multiplying glass, and sometimes, if the object be too far, we take a falling meteor for a star. Hence 'tis the wit that creates the word of fame grows such a common name, and wits by creation will become just so titular bishop made at Rome. 'Tis not a tale, 'tis not a jest admired with laughter at a feast, no florid talk which can the title gain, the proofs of wit for ever must remain. It is not the force from lifeless verses meet, with the 5 gouty feet, all everywhere like man's must be the soul, and reason the inferior powers control. Such were the numbers which could call the stones into the Theban wall, such miracles like east, and now we see no towns or houses raised by poetry. 'Tis not to adorn and gild each part, which shows more cost than art. Jewels at nose and lips but ill appear, rather no things which let none be there. Silver lights will not be seen, if there be nothing else between. Men don't because there stands a thick sky, if those be stars which paint the galaxy. 'Tis not then two like words make up one noise, just for Dutch men and English boys, in which who finds out wit the same may see, and anagrams and acrostic poetry. Much less can that have any place, at which a virgin hides her face, such dross fire must purge away. 'Tis just the author blush there where the reader must. 'Tis not such lines as almost crack the stage, when blazed begins to rage, nor tall Metha in the bombast way, nor the dread ships of short look Seneca, nor upon all things to obtrude and force some odd similitude. What is it then which, like the power divine, we only can by negatives define? In a true piece of wit all things must be, yet the things there agree, as in the act joined for force or strife, or creatures dwell the creatures that had life, or as the primitive forms of all, if you compare great things with small, which without discord or confusion lie in that strange mirror of a deity. But love that modes one man up out of two, makes me forget and injure you. I took you for myself, sure, when I thought that you in anything were to be taught. Correct my error with the pen, and if you ask me when what thing right wit and hate of genius is, I only shoot your lines and say, 'tis this. An elegy on the death of the Right Honourable Dudley Lord Carleton by Abraham Cowley. The infernal sisters the council call of all the fiends to the black stricken hall, or dire Tartarian monsters, hating light, begot by dismal Erebus, a night wheresoever dispersed abroad, hearing the fame of their accursed meeting, viver came, revenge whose greedy mind no blood can fill, and envy never satisfied with ill. Viver blind boldness and impatient rage resorted with death's neighbour, envious age, and messengers diseases, whosoever one wandering at the senate present were, whom to oppress the earth, the fury sent to spare the guilty, vex the innocent. The council was dissolved in angry fever, whose quenchless thirst, the blood was sated never. Envying the riches, honour, greatness, love, and virtue, lodestone which all these did move, of noble Carleton, him she took away, like a greedy vulture seized to prey. Weep with me each who either reads or hears, and now his loss deserves his country's tears. The Muses lost a patron by his fate, virtue, husband, and a proper state. So its cause weeps, and to adorn his hearse, Calliope would sing a tragic verse. And had there been before no spring of theirs, they would have made a Hellesant of tears. An elegy on the death of my loving friend and cousin, Master Richard Clerke, by Abraham Cowley. It was decreed by steadfast destiny, the world from chaos turned, all should die. he who durst fearless pass the black Gachen and dangers at the infernal region, leading hell's triple porter captivate, was overcome himself by conquering fate. The Roman Tully's pleasing eloquence, which in the ears did lock up every sim of a rapt hearer, his mellifluous breath could not at all charm unremorseless to death, nor Solon so by Greek admired could save himself with all his wisdom from the grave. Stern fate brought Maro to his funeral flame, and would have ended in that fire his fame. Burning those lofty lines, which now shall be time's conquerors, and outlast eternity. Even so loved Clerke from death no escape could find, for armed with great Alcida's valiant mind. He was adorned in years, more fairer, more young, with learned Cicero's or sweeter tongue, and could dead Virgil hear his lofty strain, he would condemn his own to fire again. His youth with Solon's wisdom did presage, at envious time but given him Solon's age, who would not wherefore know, if learning's friend be well his fatal and untimely end, who have such heart, such unrelenting eyes, as would not weep when so much virtue dies. The god of poets doth in darkness showed his glorious face, and weeps behind a cloud, and doleful muses thinking now to write said elegies, with tears confound their sight. But him to Elysium's lasting joys will bring, where winged angels his sad requiem sing. An elegy on the death of Miss Anne Whitfield by Abraham Cowley. She's dead, and like the hour that stole her hands, for much quietness and innocence. 'Tis as difficult a task to win a travelling soul back to its former inn, as force that hour fled for trail away to turn and stop the current of a day. What shall we weep for whist and clough for eye, with sores the grave's morning livery, or shall we sigh, with the pious wind that drift fast on what we already find? Too swift for us, soul, no, she who die like the sick sun, the night entombs his pride, or trees from autumn, when unseen decay and slow consumption steals the leaves away, for the murmur shows that she did see death as a good and not as a misery. And so she went to undiscovered fields, whence no path hope of returning yields to any traveller, and must be her solace now to court her memory. We'll tell how love was dandled in her eye, yet curbed with beseeming gravity, and how, believe it you that here read, beauty and chastity met and agreed in her over courtier. We will tell how far her noble spirit did excel hers, nay your sakes, we will repeat her name, and force the letters to an anagram. Whitfield will cry, the moor's wind shall be ready to snatch that word's sweet harmony, earth spoke out. Was you must her grief sting, and cheat the sorrow that her loss would bring. Was in our hearts we'll bury her, and where we'll write her lies Whitfield, that chaste and fair, art may not doubt the steadlier tomb and vent, but not like this a living monument. On the death of Sir Henry Wooton by Abraham Cowley. What shall we say, since silent now is he, who when he spoke of things would silent be? Who had so many languages in store, that only fame should speak of him and more, being it now no more returned must see. He is gone for heaven on his fourth embassy. On earth he travelled often, not to say he hath been abroad, or passed his time away. Whatsoever land he changed to come, and read the men and manners, bringing home the wisdom, learning, and the pity, if he went to conquer, not to see. So well he understood the most and best of tongues that Babel sent into the west, spoke them so truly that he had, you'd swear, not only lived, but been born everywhere. Justly each nation's speech to him was known, over the world was made, not us alone. No aught of the language offered man be less, who in his breast had all things to express. We say that learning's endless, and blame fate for not allowing life a longer date. It the utmost bounds of knowledge found. He found them not so large as was his mind, but like the brave Pylian youth that moaned because that art had no more words than one, and when he saw what he through all had passed, he died, lest he should idle grow at last. Reason, the use of it in divine matters, by Abraham Cowley. Some blind themselves, cause possibility they may be led by others a right way. They build on sands, which if unmoved they find, 'tis but because there was no wind. As hard is not to err ourselves, than know if our forefathers erred or no. When we trust man concerning God, we then trust not God concerning man. Visions and inspirations some expect their course here to direct, like senseless chemists their own wealth destroy, imaginary gold to enjoy. So stars appear to drop to us from sky, and gild the passage as they fly. But when they fall, and meet the opposing ground, what but the sordid slime is found? Sometimes the fancies they both reason set, and fast that they may dream of meat. Sometimes ill spirits their sickle sods delude, and forms obtrude. So Anders wretched Saucases, all what she sold through his disguise did know, yet when the devil comes up disguised she cries, Behold, the gods arise. In vain, alas, these outward hopes are tried, reason within our only guide. Reason which, God be praised, still walks for all its old original fall. And since itself the boundless God had joined with the reason and the mind, it plainly shows that mysteries divine may with all reason join. The holy book, like the eighth sphere, does shine the thousand lights of truth divine. So numberless the stars, that to the eye yet makes but all one galaxy, yet reason must assist to. For in seas so vast and dangerous as these, or caused by stars above, we cannot know, without a compass to below. Though reason cannot through fate's mystery see, it sees it there, and such they be, leads to heaven's door, and there does humbly keep, and there through chinks and keyholes peep. Though it, like Moses by a sad command, must not come into the holy land, yet thither it infallible does guide, and from afar 'tis all descried. Resolved to be loved by Abraham Cowley. 'Tis true, I have loved already 3 or 4, and shall 3 or 400 more. I love each fair one that I see, till I find one at last that shall love me. That shall my Canaan be, the fatal soil, that ends my wanderings and my toil. I'll settle there and happy grow, the country does with milk and honey flow. The needle trembles so and turns about, till it the northern point find out. But constant then and fixed as proof, fixed that its dearest pole as soon may move. Then may my vessel torn and shipwrecked be, if it put forth again to sea. It never more abroad shall roam, for it could next voyage bring the Indies home. But I must sweat and laugh and labour yet, till I a competency get. They are slothful fools, so leave the trade, till they a moderate fortune by it have made. Variety I ask not, give me one to live perpetually upon. The person love does towards fit like manna, as the task of all in it. Sleep, by Abraham Cowley. In vain, what rosy God, I thee invoke. For thou, who dost from fumes arise, thou who man's soul dost overshade with the thick cloud by the poorest made, canst have no power to shut his eyes, or passage of his spirits to choke, whose flame so pure that it sends up no smoke. Yet how do tears but from some vapours arise? Tears, the winter all my year. The fate of Egypt I sustain, never feel the dew of rain, from clouds which in the head appear. But all my too much moisture owe to overflowings of heart below. Thou dost man, as nights to colours do bring to an equality, come thou just God and equal me, a while to my disdainful she. At that condition let me lie, till love does the favour shew. Love equals all the better way than you. Then never more should thou be invoked by me. Watchful spirits and gods approve. Let her but grant, and then will I we and thy kinsmen death defy. For betwixt we and them that love, never will an agreement be, for scorns the unhappy, and the happy thee. Sport, by Abraham Cowley. The merry waves dance up and down, and play, sport is granted to the sea. Birds are the choicest of the empty air, sport is never wanting there. The grown doth smile at the spring's flowery birth, sport is granted to the earth. A fire its cheering flame on height of rear, sport is never wanting there. If all the elements, the earth, the sea, air, and fire so merry be, whilst man's mirth so seldom and so small, who is compounded of them all? The Change, by Abraham Cowley. Love in the sunny eyes does basking play, love walks in the passionate mazes of her hair, love does on both her lips for ever stray, and sows and reaps 1,000 kisses where. On all her outward parts love's always seen, but oh, he never went within. Within love's foes, his greatest foes abide, malice and constance and pride. So the earth's face, trees, herbs, and flowers do dress, with other beauties numberless. And at the centre darkness is and hell, the wicked spirits, and there the damned dwell. With me, alas, quite contrary it fares. Darkness and death lies in my weeping eyes. Despair and paleness in my face appears, and grief and fear love's greatest enemies. But like the Persian tyrant, love within keeps his proud court, and near is seen. Or take my heart, and by that means he'll prove within to store enough of love. Give me but yours, I'll by that change to thrive, that love is all my part shall live. So powerful is this change, it render can, my outside woman and your inside man. The Chronicle, by Abraham Cowley. Margarita first possessed, if I remember well, my breast, Margarita first of all. When a while the wanton maid with Marissa's heart had played, Martha took the flying ball. Martha soon did it resign to the beauteous Catherine. Beauteous Catherine gave place, for love and anger she took part of the possession of my heart to Eliza's conquering face. Eliza, till this hour might reign, had she not evil counsel stand, fundamental laws she broke, and still new favourites she chose, have announced my passions rose and cast away her yoke. Melvin and gentle Anne both to reign at once began. Alternately we swayed, and sometimes Mary was affair, and sometimes Anne the crowned were, and sometimes both I obeyed. Another Melvin arose, did rigorous laws impose, mighty turn she. Long, alas, should I have been under that iron-sceptred queen, had not Rebecca set me free. And fair Rebecca set me free, it was then a golden time with me. But soon those pleasures fled, for the gracious princess died, and her youth and beauty's pride, and Judith reigned in her stead. 1 month, 3 days, and half a year, Judith held for sovereign power, wondrous beautiful her face. But so weak and small her wit, that she to govern was unfit, and so Susanna took her place. And when Isabella came, armed with her resistless flame, the artfully of her eye, when she proudly marched about greater conquest to find out, she beat out Susan by the by. But in the place of an obeyed, black-eyed Bess, her victory made, to whom ensued a vacancy, 1,000 worse passions when possessed, the terraglum of my breast, blessed me from such an anarchy. Gentle Henrietta when, and a third Mary next began, and Joanne, and Jane, and Audria, and then a pretty Thomasina, and then another Catherine, and then a long, etc. But should I now to you relate the strength and riches of her state, how the patches and the pins, the ribbons, the jewels, and the rings, the lace, the paint, and warlike things that make up all the magazines, where I should tell the politic arts, to take and keep men's hearts, the letters, embassies, and spies, the frowns and smiles, and flatteries, the cruels tears and perjuries, numberless, nameless mysteries. All the little lime twigs laid, by magical the wainting made, and more voluminous should grow, chiefly if I like them should tell, or changed of weathers that befell, when Holstein shed or stow. I will briefer with them be, since few of them were long with me. A higher and nobler stain my present empress does claim, Eleanora first to the name, whom God grant long to reign. The Concealment, by Abraham Cowley. No, to what purpose should I speak? No, wretched heart, swell till you break. She cannot love me if she would, and to say truth, for pity that she should. No, to the grave where sorrows be, as silent as the way will beware. Since that loved hand this mortal wound does give, so handsomely the thing contrive, if she may guiltless of it live, so perish that killing thee may a chance meddling or murder be. 'Tis noble much for me that I by her beauty, not her anger, die. This will look justly, became an execution, that the martyrdom, the sensing world will never refrain, from judgment man by thunder slain. She must be angry, sure if I should be so but to ask to make me, by being hers, happier than she. I will not, 'tis a milder fate, to forbear her not loving than her hate. And yet this death of mine, I fear, will ominous to appear, when sound on every other part a sacrifice is found without an heart. For the last tempest of my death should sigh out, that too with my breath, when should the world my noble ruin see. Some pity and some envy me, when she herself, the mighty she, should grace my funerals with his truth, whose only love destroyed the gentle youth. The Country Life, by Abraham Cowley. Blessed be the man, and blessed he is, who may place far out of the roads of hope or fear, a little fear in a little garden feeds. Fear gives all that frugal nature needs, while the garden liberally bestows all she can ask when she luxurious grows. The specious inconveniences that wait upon a life of business and of state he sees, nor does the sight disturb his rest, where food is desired by wicked men possessed. Thus, and this deserved great Virgil's praise, the old courtesan yeoman passed his days. Thus his wise life Abdolomenius spent. Ambassadors which the great emperor sent to offer him a crown, with wonder found a reverend gardener owing of his ground, unwillingly and slow and discontent. From his loved cottage to the throne he went, and oft he stopped in his triumphant way, and oft looked back, and oft was heard to say, not without sighs, alas, I where forsake a happier kingdom when I go to take. Thus Aglaus, a man unknown to man, and the gods knew and wherefore loved him well, was stood obscurely when without a name, Aglaus, now consigned to eternal fame. For Gyns, the rich king, wicked and great, presumed at wise Apollo's Delphic seat, presumed to ask, of over whole world's eyes, seest thou a man with happy eyes than I? But God, who scorned to flatter men, replied, Argalus happy is. Arguus cried in a proud rage, Who can that Argalus be? We have heard as yet of no such king as he. And true it was, through the whole earth around no king of such a name was to be found. And some old hero of that name alive, whose high race does from the gods derive. Is it some mighty general that has done wonders in fight and godlike honors won? Is it some man of endless wealth, said he? None and none of these, who can this Argalus be? After long search and vain inquiries past, an obscure Acadian vale at last, the Acadian life has always shady been, near Sappho's town, which he but once had seen, this Argalus, whom monarchs envy drew, was happiest the gods stood witness to, this mighty Argalus was labouring found with his own hands in his own little ground. So gracious God, if it may lawful be among those foolish gods to mention we, so let me act on such a private stage, the last dull senses of my declining age. After long toils and voyages in vain, this quiet port let me trust the vessel gain. Of heavenly rest this earnest to me lend, let my life sleep and learn to love her end. The Despair by Abraham Cowley. Beneath gloomy shade, by nature only for my soul's made, I spend this voice and cries, in tears shall waste these eyes. By love so vainly fed, so lust of old the deluge punished. A wretched youth, said I, a wretched youth, twice did I sadly cry, a wretched youth for fields and floods reply. When thoughts of love I entertain, I meet no words but never and in vain. Never, alas, the dreadful name which fuels the infernal flame. Never my time to come must waste, in vain torments the present and the past. In vain, said I, in vain, twice did I sadly cry, in vain, the fields and floods reply. No more shall fields or floods do so, for I to shades but dark and silent go. All this world's noise appears to me a dull ill-acted comedy. No comfort to my wounded sight, in the sun's busy and impertinent light. When down I laid my head, down on cold earth, and for a while was dead, my freed soul to a strange somewhere fled. A Scottish soul, said I, and back to its cage again I saw it fly, fool to resume a broken chain, and row her galley here again. Fool to that body to return, when condemned and destined is to burn. Once dead, how can it be that should the thing so pleasant seem to thee, that thou shouldst come to live it o'er again in me? The Given Heart by Abraham Cowley. I wonder what those lovers mean, who say we have given their hearts away. Some good kind lover tell me how, for mine is but a torment to me now. If so it be one place both hearts contain, what do we complain? What cause they can love the more, when to join hearts that parted were before? Woe to a step-one heart, if once man come into the selfsame room, 'twill tear and blow up all within, like a grenade or shot into a magazine. When shall love keep the ashes and torn parts of both our broken hearts? Shall out of both one new one make, from hers triale, for mine the metal take? For the heart he from the flames will find but little left behind. Mine only will remain entire, and draws to spare to perish in the fire. The Grasshopper by Abraham Cowley. Happy insect, what can be in happiness compared to we? Fed with nourishment divine, with your morning's gentle wine. Nature waits upon thee still, the verdant cup does fill. 'Tis filled wherever thou dost treat, nature's self-forgotten meet. Thou dost drink, and dance and sing, happier than the happiest king. All the fields which thou dost see, all the plants belong to thee. All the summer hours produce, fertile made with early juice. And when for thee they sow and plough, farmer he and landlord woe. Thou dost innocently enjoy, let us thy luxury destroy. The shepherd gladly heareth thee, more harmonies than he. The country hands of gladness here, prophet of a ripened year. The Phoebus loves and does inspire, Phoebus is himself thy sire. To thee of all things upon earth, life's no longer than thy mirth. Happy insect, happy thou, is neither age nor winter now. And when thou'st drunk and danced and sung, that fill the flowery leaves among, voluptuous and wise for fall, Epicurean animal. Satan with thy summer feast, thou retires to endless rest. The Heartbreaking by Abraham Cowley. It gave a piteous groan, and so it broke. In vain it something would have spoke, the love of too strong, for 'twas like poison put into a Venice glass. I thought with this some remedy might prove, but of a mighty serpent love, cut by this chance in pieces small, in all still lived, in still as stung and all. And now, alas, each little broken part feels the whole pain of all my heart, and every smallest corner still lives with the torment which the whole did kill. Even so rude armies when the field they quit, and the civil quarters get, each trooper spoil and ruin more, and all joined in one body did before. How many loves reign in my bosom now? How many loves yet all of you? Or have I changed with evil fate monarch love into a tyrant state? The innocent ill, by Abraham Cowley. For all thy gestures and discourses be coined and stamped by modesty, or from thy tongue I slipped away one word which nuns and the altar might not say, yet such a sweetness, such a grace in all thy speech appear, and vote we eye a beauteous face, as it honest to be here. So cunningly it wounds the heart, it strikes such heat through every part, that thou a temper worse than Satan art. Though thy faults scarcely any tracks have been, so much as of original sin, such charms for beauty versus my desires, and thine confessed saints excite. Thou with strange adultery dost in each breast a brothel keep, wake all men to lust for thee, and some enjoy thee when they sleep. Ne'er before did woman live, who to such multitudes did give the root and cause of sin, but only Eve. Though in their breasts so quick a pity be, that if flies deaths are wont to be, the savage and rock-hearted those appear, that weep not even Romans' woes. Yet ne'er before was turned known, whose rage was of so large extent. The yells thou dar'st are howl thine own, without principle and instrument. And all the deaths that come from you do the treble office to of judge, of torturer, and of weapon too. The lovely instrument of the angry fate, which God did for our faults create, for pleasure and universal ill, which sweet as health, and like a plague dost kill. O kind well-natured tyranny, a chaste committer of a rape, a voluntary destiny, which no man can or would escape, so gentle and so glad to spare, so wondrous good and wondrous fair, we know even the destroying angels are. The motto, by Abraham Cowley. What shall I do to be for ever known, and make the age to come my own? I shall, like beasts or common people, die, unless you write elegy, whilst others great, by being born, are grown, for mother's labour, not their own. In the scale gold, the other fame does lie, the weight of it mounts this so high. These men of fortune's jewels, moulded bright, brought forth of their own fire and light. From either vulgar stone for ever look, out of myself it must be strook. I must on. What sound strikes mine ear? Sure fame's trumpet here. It sounds like the last trumpet, for it can raise up the buried man. Unpassed Elbe, stop me, but I'll cut them all, march the muses Hannibal. Hence all the flattering vanities that lay nets of roses in the way. Hence the desire of honours or estate, all that is not above fate. Hence love himself, the turn of my days, which intercepts my coming praise. Come, my best friends, my books, and lead me on. 'Tis time that I were gone. Welcome, great stack read, and teach me now all I was born to know. The scholar's victories, thou dost for outdo, or conquered the earth, the whole world you. Welcome, learned Cicero, whose blessed tongue and wit preserved Rome's greatness yet, but the first of orators. Only he who best can praise thee next must be. Welcome the mind who once won, Virgil the wise, whose verse walks highest but not flies. A broad green poesy to a perfect age made the art which was a rage. Tell me, ye mighty free, what shall I do to be like one of you? But you have climbed the mountain's top, where sit on the calm flourishing head of it, whilst the very steps we upward go see us and clouds below. The Parting, by Abraham Cowley. As men in Greenland left beheld the sun from their horizon run, and thought upon the sad half-year of cold and darkness they must suffer there, so on my parting mistress did I look, as such as one eyes my farewell took. And my fair star, said I was blessed lands to which bright thou dost fly. In vain the man of learning comfort me, and sign in a warm degree. Say what will please, I say and swear, 'tis beyond 80 at least, if you're not here. It is, a tremble with a frost, and now that I the day have lost, and those wild things which men they call, I find to be but bears or foxes all. Return, gay planet of mine east, of all that shines for most the best. And as for now this candice to see, more fair and fresh rise up from whence to thee. Thou who in many a propriety so truly art the son to me, add one more likeness, which I'm sure you can, and let me and my son beget a man. The Resurrection, by Abraham Cowley. Not winds to voyages at sea, nor shows to earth more necessary be, heaven's vital seed cast in the womb of earth to give a fruitful year birth, and verse to virtue which can do, vampires offers and for nurses too. It feeds it strongly and it clothes it gay, and when it dies with comely pride embalms it and erects a pyramid, it never will decay. Heaven itself shall melt away and naught behind it stay. Begin the song and strike the living lyre, so how the years to come, a numerous well-fitted choir, all hand in hand to decency advance, to my song with smooth and equal measures dance. Whilst the dance lasts, how long soe'er it be, music's voice shall be at company, for all gentle notes be drowned in the last trumpet's dreadful sound, and to this fearsome self shall silence bring unto the universal string. And all the wide extended sky, and all the harmonious worlds on high, and Virgil's sacred work shall die, and he himself shall see in one fire shine rich nature's ancient Troy, though built by hands divine. Whom thunderous dismal noise and all that prophets and apostles louder spake, and all the creatures' plain conspiring voice could not whilst they lived awake, with mightier sound shall make when dead to rise, and open tombs and open eyes to the long sluggards of 5,000 years. This mightier sound shall make its hearer's ear, and shall the scattered atoms crowding come to the ancient home, some from birds, from fishes some from earth and some from seas, some from beasts and some from trees. Some descant from clouds on high, some from metals upwards fly, and wet handing so naked and shivering stands, meet, salute, and join their hands. As dispersed soldiers at the trumpet's call, hush to their colours all, unhappy mouse like tortured men, the joint new set to be new wrecked again. The mountains, they for shelter pray, the mountains shake, and run about no less confused than they. Stop, my muse, allay with the girl's heat, kindle that the hints are great. Hold the penetrating Pegasus closely in, which does the rage begin, and the steep hill would gallop up with violent course. 'Tis an unruly and hard-mouthed horse, fierce and unbroken, yet impatient of spur bit. Now prowls so stately, and anon flies over the place, disdains the field of any settled pace, conscious and proud of his unnatural force. 'Twill no unskilful touch endure, but flings writer and reader to that sits not sure. The Thief, by Abraham Cowley. Robs my days of business and delights, of sleep robs my nights. A lonely thief, what will thou do? What, rob me of heaven too? Even my prayers thou hauntest me, and I with wild idolatry begin to God and end them all to thee. It is a sin to love, that it should thus like an ill conscience torture us. Where I do, where'er I go, and guiltless I was haunted so. Still methinks thy face I view, and still thy shape does me pursue, as if not you me, but I had murdered you. On books I strive some remedy to take, when any mortal letters make. Where that is writ, I find we wear, like points and commas everywhere. Be blessed to wis, let no man hold, for I as Midas did of old, perish by turning everything to gold. How do I seek, alas, why do I attempt in vain from thee to fly? For making thee my deity, I gave thee an ubiquity. My pains resemble hell in this, the divine presence whereto is, but a torment man, not a gift from bliss. The Tree of Knowledge, by Abraham Cowley. Against the dogmatists. The sacred tree midst the fair orchard grew. The phoenix truth did on it rest, and built his perfumed nest. The ripe Propharian tree, which did true logic shew. Each leaf did learned notions give, the abbots were demonstrative. So clear their colours and divine, that the shade they cast did other lights outshine. Taste not, said God, as mine and angels meet. A certain death doth sit, like an ill worm, at the core of it. Ye cannot know and live, nor live for know and eat. Or spoke God, yet man did go ignorantly on to know. Grew so more blind, she who tempted him to this, grew yet more blind than he. The only science man by this did get, was but to know he nothing knew. He straight his nakedness did view, his ignorant poor state, and was ashamed of it. Yet searches probabilities, metaphoric and fallacies, and seeks by useless pride the slight and withering leaves that nakedness to hide. Henceforth, said God, the wretched sons of earth shall sweat for food in vain, that will not long sustain, and bring with labour forth each fond abort of birth. That serpents too their pride, which aims at things denied, with learned and eloquent lust, instead of mounting high, shall creep upon the dust. The Usurpation, by Abraham Cowley. Words to my soul no title or pretence. I was mine own and free, that I had given myself to thee, was kept me slave and prisoner since. While it is sin so insolent thou art grown from tyrant, I dispose thee from thy throne. Such outrage must not admit it be an elective monarchy. Part of my heart by gift did to thee fall, my country, kindred, and my best acquaintances were to share the rest. Thou thou covetous neighbour drawest out all thy more, thou makes me worship thee. Would the rule of my religion be, that ever should claim such power as you, to be both emperor and pope too? Public miseries and my private fate deserve some tears. A greedy vow, insatiate mate, wilt not allow that I one drop from we should alienate. Nor wilt thou grant my sins apart, our sole cause of most of them thou art. Counting my tears for tribute and for due, since first mine eyes I gave to you. All my joys and all my hopes dost claim, rages like of fire in me, converting all things into thee. Naught can resist, or not increase the flame, now every grief and every fear thou dost devour, and as thy stempled peer, the presence like the crowned basilisk breath, all other serpents puts to death. As men in hell are from diseases free, so from all other ills am I, free from well-known formality. All pains eminently lie in thee. Alas, alas, I hope in vain my conquered self from orphan hands to gain, as all the natives where thou hast overthrown, and planted garrisons of thine own. Welcome by Abraham Cowley. Go let the fetid calf be killed. The prodigals come home at last, with noble resolutions filled, and filled with sorrow for the past. The more will burn with love of wine, that quiet has left his woman and his wine. Welcome, welcome, my poor heart. Welcome. I will thought I'd swear, 'tis now so long since we did part, ere I began to see thee here, dear wanderer, since from me you fled, often have I heard where thou wert dead. Hast thou not found each woman's breast, where lands where thou hast travelled, either by savages possessed, or wild and uninhabited? What joy couldst take, or what repose, in countries so uncivilized as those? Alas, the scorching dogster here rages with immoderate heat, whilst bright rugged Northern beer, and others make the cold to grate. And where we's are temperate known, where soils so barren, sand or rocky stone, and once or twice you changed to view a rich, well-governed heart, like China, it admitted you, but with a front apart. A paradise shut forevermore, what good is with an angel kept the door? With fair the pride and the disdain, and vanities with beauty joined. I never had seen this heart again, if any fair one had been kind. My dove but once let loose, I hoped, would never return, had not the flood been known. The Wish by Abraham Cowley. Well, when I now do plainly see this busy world, and I shall ne'er agree, a honey of all earthly joy does of all meats the soul's cloy. And they methinks deserve my pity, who for it can endure the stings, the crowd and bliss and murmurings of this great heath, the city. Yet ere I descant to the grave, may I a small house and large garden have, and a few friends and many books, both true, both wise, both delightful too. And since love ne'er will from me flee, mistress moderately fair, and good as guardian angels are, only beloved and loving me. Fountains, when in you shall I myself east of unpeaceful thoughts espy, or fields or woods, when shall I be made the happy tenant of your shade? Here's the spring heat of pleasure's flood, where all the riches lie, which he has coined and stamped for good. Pride and ambition here only in far-fetched metaphors appear. Here naught but winds can hurtful murmurs scatter, and naught but echo flatter. The gods, when they descended higher from heaven, it always chose the way, and wherefore we may boldly say, it is the way to viver. Happy here should I, and one dear she, live and embracing die, she who is all the world and can exclude in desert solitude. I should have then this only fear, lest men, and they my pleasure see, should hire a throng to live like me, and so make a city here. To Sir William Davenant by Abraham Cowley. Methinks Zurich poesy to know, like some fantastic fairyland did show. Gods, devils, nymphs, witches, and giants race, and all that men in man's chief work had place. Thou, like some worthy knight with sacred arms, dost drive the monsters thence, and end the charms. Instead of those dost man and manners plant, things which that rich soil did chiefly wound. And even thy mortals do their gods excel, taught by their muse to fight and love so well. The fatal hands, whilst present empires fall, thine from the grave past monarchies recall. So much more things from humankind dost merit the poet's fury than the silhouette's spirit. And from the grave thou makest his empire rise, not like some dreadful ghosts affright our eyes, but with more lustre and triumphant state, and when it crowned a proud Verona's state. So will our God rebuild man's perished frame, and raise him up much better, yet the same. So godlike poets do past things rehearse, not change but heighten nature by their verse. With shame, methinks, great Italy must see her conquerors raised to life again by thee, raised by such powerful verse, that ancient Rome may blush to less to see her wit o'ercome. Some men with fancies like the faith derive, and think all ill but that which Rome does give, to marks of old and Catholic would find. To the same share would truth and fiction bind. One those beaten paths disdains to treat, and scorns to live by robbing of the dead. Since time does all things change, for things not fit, this latter age should see all new by the wit. The fancy, like a flame, its way does make, and leave bright tracks for following pens to take. Should was with noble boldness of a muse, did we desire to seek new worlds and views, and ne'er did heaven so much a voyage bless, and for Concealment but where with like success. To the Lord Falkland, by Abraham Cowley. Great is thy charge, O North, be wise and just, e'en commit Sir Falkland to thy trust. Return him safe, knowing would rather chose a boldly or a Vatican to lose. All things that are but writ or printed there, in this unbounded breast engraven are, where all the sciences together meet, and every art does all their kindred greet, yet justly not, nor quarrel, but as well agree as in some common principle. So an army governed right we see, for out of several countries raised it be, with all their order and their place maintain, the English, Dutch, the Frenchman, and the Dane. So thousand diverse species fill the air, yet never crowd nor mix confusedly there. Beasts, houses, trees, and men together lie, and enter undisturbed into the eye. As great prince of knowledges by fate, thrust into the noise and business of a state. All virtues and some customs of a court, other men's labour, are at least a sport, whilst we, who can action undertake, whom idleness itself might learn to make, we of nothing and as yet scarce know, whether Scots and England be or no. Pace duly on, oft tire and often stay, yet see as nimble Pegasus fly away. 'Tis nature's fault who did thus partial grow, as state of wit on one bestow, whilst we, like younger brothers, get it best, with a small stock must work out the rest. How could he answered, should the state think fit to question the monopoly of wit? Such the man who will require the same villain of know, untouched as in his fame. He is too good for war, and ought to be as far from danger as from fear he's free. Was man alone, and was so useful too, was valor is the only art they know. Wherefore said war, and bloody battles won, and the state defend, and he adorn. To William Davenant, by Abraham Cowley. Methinks the heroic poesy till now, like some fantastic fairyland did show, gods, devils, nymphs, witches, and giants a race, and all but men, and man's best work at place. Or like some worthy knight with sacred arms, does strive for monsters' vents and land with charms. Instead of those, does men and manners plant, the things which the rich solely did chiefly want. But even the mortals do their gods excel, taught by the muse to fight and love so well. The fatal hands, whilst present empires fall, thine from the grave past monarchies recall. So much more thanks from humankind does merit the poet's fury and the zealot's spirit, and from the grave for makes this empire rise, not like some dreadful ghost frighted our eyes, and with more beauty and triumphant state, and when crowded at proud Verona sate. So our God rebuilt man's perished frame, and raised him up much better, yet the same. So godlike poets do past things rehearse, not change, but heighten nature with the verse. With shame methinks great Italy must see her conquerors called to life again by thee, called by such powerful arts, that ancient Rome may blush, or less to see her wit o'ercome. Some men with fancy like their faiths derive, and count all ill but that which Rome does give. The marks of old and Catholic would find, to the same chair would driven fiction bind, while on these beaten paths the stains to cheat, and scorns to live by robbing of the dead. Since time does all things change, the things not fit this latter age should see all new but wit. The fancy, like a flame, her way does make, and leaves bright tracks for following pens to take. Sure 'twas with noble boldness of a muse, did thy desire to seek new worlds and views, ere did heaven so much a voyage bless, and thou canst plant but there with like success. Why dost thou heap up wealth? By Abraham Cowley. Why dost thou heap up wealth which thou must quit, or what is worse, be left by it? Why dost thou load thyself in woe to fly, or man ordained to die? And dost thou build up stately rooms on high, thou who art underground to lie? Or sow'st and plantest, but no fruit must see, for death alas is sowing thee. Suppose thou fortune couldst to tameless bring, and clip opinion her wing, suppose thou couldst on fate so far prevail, as not to cut off her entail. At death, at all that subtly will laugh, death will that foolish gardener mock, who does a slight and annual plant and graft upon a lasting stock. Or dost thyself wise and industrious deem, a mighty husband thou wouldst seem, a fond man, like a bored slave, who all the while dost but for others sweat and toil. Officious fool that needs must meddling be in business that concerns not thee, for when to future years thou extend'st thy cares, thou dealst other men's affairs. Even aged men, as if they truly were children again, for age prepare, provisions for long travail they design in the last point of a short line. Wisely we end against poor winter hoard, the stock which summer's wealth affords, in grasshoppers that must at autumn die, or vain with such an industry. Of power and honour the deceitful light might have excused a cheated sight, if it of life a whole small time would stay, and be your sunshine all the day. Like lightning that, begot but in a cloud, was shining bright and speaking loud, whilst it begins, concludes its violent race, and where it gilds, it wounds the place. A scene of fortune which dost fair appear only to men that stand near. Proud poverty with tinsel bravery tears, and like a rainbow painted tears. Be prudent and for sure and prospect keep, and a weak bow trust not for deep. Place beneath envy, above envying rise, pity great men great things despise. A wise example of a heavenly lark, the fellow poet Cowley mark, above the clouds let thy proud music sound, with humbleness built on the ground. Written in juice of lemon by Abraham Cowley. Whilst the writer do not see, I dare thus even to you write poetry, a foolish muse which dares to high aspire, and knows the judgment well, how much it does the power excel, yet dares be read by just doom the fire. And as for things myself secure, because their form is innocent and pure, like Hippocrates, which seem unsported here, and when they sadly come to die, and the last fire their truth must try, scrawled o'er like thee and blotted they appear. Go then but reverently go, and since thou needst must sin confess it to, confess that the humility cloth thy shame, for thou whilst must burn thee an heretic, if she pardon thee, mayst like a match and enjoy the flame. For wisdom grows in thee, and suffer not her goodness to thee there. If her large mercies cruelly yet restrain, be not discouraged, but require a more gentle order of fire, and bid her by love's flames read it again. Strange power of heat, or yet dost show, like winter earth naked or clothed with snow. As the kindling sun approaching near, the plants arise up by degrees. A sudden pain adorns the trees, all kind nature's characters appear. So nothing yet in thee is seen, but then a genial heat warms thee within, new-born wood of the various lines there grows. Here buds an egg, and there bee, here sprouts a fee, and there tea, and all the flourishing let us stand in rows. Still, silly paper, thou wilt think, but all this might as well be writ with ink. Oh no, there's sense in this and mystery, and thou no mayst change thy author's name, to a hand lay noble claim, for as she reads, she makes the words than we. Yet of thine own unworthiness, will still, whether thou art mine, not hers confess, consume myself with fire before eyes, and so her grace or pity move. The gods, the beasts we do not love, yet like them when we burned in sacrifice.